Hello. Tonight I'd like to talk a little bit about the some of the fish that I've dealt with in the saltwater tank. Tonight I'd like to talk about the diamond Watchman Goby. The diamond Watchman Goby is a very useful member of your cleanup crew in any given tank, especially with the sand substrate. You definitely want to have a sufficient, live sand or comparable fine sand type substrate for them to sift through because they filter feed through their mouths through the sand, picking up little microorganisms and other, food particles and stuff that may be in there. So they are a crucial member, in my opinion, of any saltwater tank with a sand bed, because they aerate your sand for you, which saves you the hassle and pain of having to do that on your own. So in that sense, they actually make the saltwater tank more a little bit simpler, I should say, to deal with than it would be with the freshwater aquarium, where you have to actually do the gravel vacuuming and things like that. The Diamond Watchman Goby is an interesting and interactive character. As you watch them filter feed through the sand, they will sit there and just, scoop up mouthfuls of sand and then spit it back out through their gills. Not their gills, but through the back of their mouth. They're an interesting color fish. They have kind of diamond-shaped orange spots on their back, hence the name. They are people watchers. They do like to periodically just sit there and watch and observe people, and they're somewhat curious about that. Um, they have a lot of personality and character. There's all kinds of different examples out there with the Diamond Watchman Goby in terms of things that they've done, including a really humorous one out there of one interacting with the blue spot or jawfish, and continually spitting sand back in the jawfish's den and sweeping with its tail the sand back in on him. But in other respects as well, they do have some interesting personality traits. My Diamond Watchman Goby, is probably some of the most unique behaviors I've seen from it. He does manage my cleanup crew. He likes to, if he sees a crab that's either in his way or he feels is out of place, he will actually pick up the crab in his mouth and he will redeposit it elsewhere where he feels either the crab can be more useful or just out of his way. And I've even seen him sometimes where he'll take the crab and he'll pull him off the sand and drop him up on the live rock. My Diamond Watchman Goby is also a little bit unique in terms of its behavior. It will actually swim up and over my live rock, as well as occasionally it will swim up into the water column looking for some things. In terms of temperament, generally speaking, the Diamond Watchman Goby is peaceful. However, I would say, at least in my case, my Diamond Watchman Goby is actually, I would say, semi-aggressive because he is very territorial. To be fair, he was subjected to a little bit of bullying from a flame angel and then ultimately from a solar fairy wrasse, or redhead salon fairy wrasse as they're known. And so he will snap at new additions to the tank, open his mouth real wide and take a snap at them, just to let them know, hey, back off, get away from me. But he will, for the most part, leave other fish alone. It's just only on occasion that he'll start showing aggression to other fish that he feels are getting too close to him or right up in his face. He doesn't care for that at all. So, anyways, the Diamond Watchman Goby, though, I would say, particularly if you're looking for something that will basically make your sand bed maintenance free for you, it'll take care of itself. would be the one that I would recommend. They do recommend them for a 30-gallon or larger tank, so you want to make sure you do that and you have plenty of sand down there. I have a 40 pounds of live sand in the bottom of my 36-gallon tank, and that seems to be plenty. The Diamond Watchman Goby also is an engineer. It will go in and dig out a burrow, and sometimes it almost gets to be too much. It will stir up a fair bit of sand when it decides to really get going with sand sifting, whether it be digging a burrow or feeding or whatever it might be. So those are some of the things to be aware of on the Diamond Watchman Goby. It's also, generally speaking, after you cycle your tank, it'll probably be the first fish you would want to add to your tank, just because they help start that process of aerating the sand early on. So, and a single one of those Diamond Watchman Gobies, they can handle a tank 30 gallons in size, and then in the case of my live fish store, they have a massive 300-gallon tank, and they have one Diamond Watchman Goby in there, and yes, he aerates the entire sand bed for that tank. So realistically, any tank of 30 gallons all the way up to 300 gallons, one Diamond Watchman Goby is sufficient to aerate an entire sand bed for you. So that's how efficient they are. They are by far the most efficient sand aerator you could ever have in a saltwater tank. And that's about it for the Diamond Watchman Goby, and thanks for watching.